Hey guys, welcome back to the Top Drive Show. We have a special episode today dedicated to the showcase of our next Tri-Series prize car, which is the Ariel Atom V8 500. So watch the video to find out more about this excellent car, which is coming to Top Drives very soon. I'm Dmitry, the community manager here at Top Drives.
Hi, I'm Jonathan, and I am design director at Hutch.
And I'm Tim, and I run marketing and analytics at Hutch.
Yeah, welcome to the Top Drive Show, guys. I'm very excited about this episode because this is a prize car showcase for a very special car, which is called the Ariel Atom 500 V8 for the Tri-Series that are currently running in Top Drives. We have partnered with Ariel to do a little bit of promotions to give a little bit more visibility to their brand and just to see, to find out more about their brand and showcase their cars that we have in our games. I think we have 8 cars right now from their sort of stable, and this obviously is one that is probably going to be the best. It's a very exciting car, and I'm really looking forward to having it. Winning this in the game. So what do you think, guys? What do you think about the car?
Yeah, I mean, really, like you say, sort of really exciting to get Ariel in. It's sort of fellow sort of UK company, and I think it's just the Atom, as as you say, we've got 8 models in. We've sort of gone back and made sure we've got one of each generation of the Atom, and then a couple of other models as well. And it's, maybe I use the term sort of iconic a bit too much, but it's sort of, in terms of a kind of modern, performance car icon, it is, and it sort of does it through both its design and its performance, which is sort of quite unique in some ways. It was just such a kind of revolutionary design for that sort of car when it came out. Just the proportions, the way it's constructed, the bits that are exposed, the bits that aren't exposed was just so different to what had gone before, that it was just so fresh. And they've just kept sort of refining it. And along the way, kind of special editions, different engines that have gone into it. And just constantly kind of making, in terms of kind of a driving experience, just getting better and better. But yeah, I mean, really, that I guess that brings us, as you say, to the prize car, which is this all about. And I was sort of beforehand, sort of just running through. Often it's kind of nice to collect together, a few numbers and things like that. It's all with this one. There's sort of almost too many numbers to talk about. It's just a kind of crazy car. So yeah, it came out in 2011. It was, I think what was interesting when it sort of first came out was that all Atoms are they're some of the fastest cars on the road. And then there was suddenly this car that sort of, this version that moved the performance so far on that I think all the road testers at the time were sort of going in just thinking they were basically going to be sort of lucky to keep it on the road and not end up in a field somewhere. But actually the reports at the time, it's like, yes, it was, but it was pretty much the fastest thing that a lot of people had ever driven on the road. But actually it had quite a lot of drivability to it. So it's that thing where kind of, I think people sort of, you could actually, okay, you couldn't use the performance a lot on the road, but it was drivable. And if you had it on track, you could actually kind of make the most of it. But yeah, I mean, a few of the sort of stats, maybe sort of that sit outside Top Drives. I mean, the one absolutely sort of defining figure for it is 864 brake horsepower per ton, which was, just sort of other road cars really don't even get close to that at the time. I mean, you've got to get into kind of super bike territory. I mean, generally sort of anything in the biking world will be way in advance sort of power to weight ratio of cars. But I mean, even if you're looking at a super bike, you're going to be sort of in the 700 range or starting at the 700 range. So just unbelievable power to weight, amazing, and sort of dominated in a way by what's powering that is obviously sort of the engine. revs to 10,500 RPM, or produces its peak power at 10,500, which was pretty special even now. But I think, and obviously sort of puts it into kind of quite rare territory. I mean, the car was, I think, £150,000 when it was new. But if you, in terms of sort of what's required to kind of almost deliver that performance, I mean, if you think about, even the gearbox was £15,000, which is just for the gearbox itself, not, nothing to do with kind of the shifter or anything like that. It's got some pretty special components and hardware in it. So yeah, I thought it was kind of it would be good to just run through, I guess, kind of, I mean, in terms of where it sits sort of top drives briefly. I mean, I think that, the top speed is not bad, but is not really its strength. So on the sort of, I guess, the mile drags and maybe then the bowls, it's not going to be absolutely in its element. But then you get down, I mean, that 2.3 seconds to 60 is just unbelievable. 91 handling in its kind of main form is really, kind of right up there. Anything in the 90s is going to be pretty effective. But then when you combine that with the fact that it is so lightweight, that's when that kind of agility bonus sort of really comes into play. So anything that's got really sort of tight turns or rapid changes of direction, this is where it's just going to be in its element, really. And actually, I was going to just, as we do with prize cars, just run through a few examples. So let me just bring these up for myself. Initially, we're going to pick our old favorite McLaren 12C on the fast circuit. I mean, in some ways, this should be, yes, the Atom gets off the line quicker, but you can see actually on the back straights, you can see the kind of the longer legs of the McLaren. But even then, even with that back straight, it can't get close, really. I mean, it closes up on the straight, but it can't really get close. And actually, there's several car lengths between them as they cross the finish line. So
incredible.
Pretty sort of amazing on something like the fast circuit. If we maybe sort of change the opponent to something that was sort of not quite came out a few years before, but is very much in the similar space. So the Caterham Levant, and let's just put them into their absolute natural habitat of the slalom.
Yeah.
And we can see here, just going to kind of bring this up. And again, it's just the Levant just can't get off the line sort of as quickly. And again, really, this sort of, in a way, the race is kind of won at that point. The Levant, as far as I know, is sort of even a little bit lighter, but it can't get back into the race, really. And that really goes for kind of anything, kind of any of the slaloms on the different environments or the car park, anything like that. It's the Atom, even amongst your kind of super lightweight sort of track specials or track day specials, it's right up there. And then I thought, just as another demonstration of sort of what it can do, we'll sort of stick with McLaren, but bring out the lovely yellow P1, put it onto the karting circuit, so the outdoor karting circuit. And again, I mean, that P1 generates, even more so than the Atom, generates vast amounts of grip and to give that handling score. And it's a much closer race. I mean, the P1 is there, but again, the Atom takes it with not quite a car length there. So it's all in all, we are looking at a really quite a special car. As with a lot of these performance specialists, it's avoid the wet weather, definitely avoid the dirt. But anything sort of dry tarmac, it's just absolutely mighty, really.
Yeah.
And, also, I would put it in my top 5 favorite photos in the game. So
okay, we'll have to go through that actual list later on. Actually more than 5.
I should probably write it down somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. I just did a few little checks myself as well for some of the likely suspects that people might ask. First of all, the mid-range acceleration measured from 60 to 100. There's also mid-range beyond that, but the 60 to 100 is the one people reference the most. That comes out at 74, which is good but not great. But considering the 0 to 60 is as low as 2.3, that's seriously impressive, and that's how it's able to, keep up with even the 12C on a fast circuit, because it's actually doing very well there. And then the other one, it's interesting. It's like it wants to be a twisty specialist, but it's also extremely fast. And so I just found it amazing having a look at this, that it beats the Porsche 935 Moby Dick on the twisty circuit standing start and anything twistier, which is incredible. That's a car with slick tires and amazing performance, and just a straight up twisty circuit. It's got it beat. And then finally, because I know players worry about these things, legendaries are harder to upgrade. So I had a look at what happens if you get this Atom, you upgrade it 333, like the base that you can do without having to do any fuses. And then you put it up against the king of twisties and top drives. It's so hard to beat the Superlight, right? Caterham Superlight R500. If that was maxed, which probably it's going to be because it's an Epic, right? 699. And the Superlight, it beats it on the twisty circuit standing starts. Even, so unequal upgrades, and it's still got it beat, and the fast circuit and the 1 mile as you'd expect. But when it gets to the G-Force, the Slalom, and the car park, those upgrades are favouring the Superlight. So it's not going to make that so easy for you. But just considering that it can beat these incredible cars like the Moby Dick and the 12C on relatively fast circuits.
And actually, the Superlight, I mean, they were in a way that was almost the last. They sort of coincide. I think the Atom coincided with the last generation of the sort of R500 before they went to the 620R and 620S and things like that. And I mean, it was a crazy era in a way. There was a little kind of period of just unbelievable cars coming out from British manufacturers, and in a way they were sort of, they're quite natural competitors. I mean, the Caterham, there's just so little to it. Has that slight kind of weight advantage in certain situations, but if anybody's looking for an older, I quite like going back and looking at older car reviews and things like that. Some of the articles written about the Atom 500 at the time they just make for great reading, because I think even road test, it's natural. Road testers get probably start taking performance cars for granted, really. I mean, they're just out there kind of like enjoying so many great cars. But I think even to them, the Atom 500 was just quite a unique experience, and you can sort of tell that in the articles that were written. So.
If you're interested in getting an Ariel in real life, I think they still sell used cars, not just the 500, but Ariel have a variety of cars, of used cars on their website. And I think one of the funnest facts I found regarding the 500 was that at the time when it was released, it was the fastest accelerating car on the planet, really, and it was even faster in that property than the Veyron at the time. So obviously times have changed now, but with the Chiron coming in, but it's just incredible, because you're comparing to cars which, if we're looking at the price list, for example, it's a fraction of the cost of Veyron, I would assume, compared to the 500. So it's really.
Yeah. Actually, I did, in advance of this, I was having a quick look on the Ariel website, and they actually had a 500 V8 for sale.
So what do you guys say? Will you be fighting for this car in the Tri-Series? Will you suggest others?
I mean, I don't have any Ariels still. Like, not even the Atom one. It's just ultra rare. It's just never showed up. I don't have any of them. So I really, really, really want, one at least. So here's a chance to get one without having to rely on the luck. See what the requirements are. I don't know what they are yet.
Yeah, but thank you very much, guys. I think that's everything for now. I just want to say thank you very much for both of you for joining and talking about the car. And I would like to say a special thanks to Ariel and for working with us on this. We're extremely excited to give visibility to such a unique manufacturer, and we're very, very thankful. And we're looking forward to any sort of promotions and cooperations in the future.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Cool. Thanks. Okay.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much, guys, for watching the video. I'm wishing you good luck in the Tri Series. Finals are starting tomorrow. I hope you manage to get your hands on the Ariel Atom V8 500. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our social links that should appear above my head in a second. As I said, good luck, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Top Drive Show.